Sup guys, Army Fire Dog back again, and today I actually have the review video of the Soundaware S-Thur-M1. This is their digital audio player offering to the lineup, and it retails for between $500 and $600 depending on where you've shopped from. So my closest collaboration with this one is the OWN M2, which is about $300 to $350, so almost half the price. So for that price, I got quite a bit of expectations for this. But we'll get into that here after a while. I do want to give a huge shout out to Soundaware for allowing me to be a reviewer for you. I greatly enjoyed this product over the week I've had it, and I'm going to miss when I send it back. Let's jump into it and let's see my thoughts. So as always, I like to start with the construction. And the construction is, as a member in the unboxing video, top notch. It's a very nicely built aluminum throughout the entirety of it. Very, if any, plastic involved. The option buttons are super simplistic, selectable knobs. The top, you have, like I said, your headphone output, your auxiliary input and coax output, volume knob, power button, and your lock switch. The bottom is a dual SD card slot that each card can be up to 128 gigabits. That brings your total up to 256. That is a lot of music. So for those of you like myself with a lot of files, actually I don't even have that much, you have plenty of storage, so no worries there. Moving down to the functionality of it, the functionality is definitely the smoothest I've played with in a long time. It's the smoothest non-touchscreen DAP, I will absolutely say that. You can very easily process between the playlists, even ones as large as mine. Now, on that note, it still does not have the quick adjust to be able to quickly go from like B to S very swiftly. But I can get to it pretty fast. Instead of hitting down where it goes down one song individually, if I hit this button here on the playlists, it goes down by page. So you can scroll down at a pretty good speed. It's very responsive. So if I click it like that fast, it will go down that fast. So I can't really take off that much from it there, from that point of view. Now, moving on to the sound. Now, for the sound, like I said, I was expecting quite a bit. I've had two previous DAPs that have performed very admirably for their price. So how did this one go? In terms of amplitude, it powered wonderfully. Like, I didn't have to use any kind of external amplification to this. Now, an external portable amp would have been greatly beneficial in terms of the resolution of the amp, like especially when I plug in a higher impedance headphone, like for example my Sennheiser HD650s. But when I'm just using my P7s or my Hermes, no problem at all. Also on a Hermes, I'll go ahead and knock that one out of the way. This still had hiss, so I had to use my buffer jack, but it was still present nonetheless. It was low. It's actually been the lowest in this one of any of the others, but still. The overall sound I found is actually a bit bright. Like, this is the analog version. This comes in two versions, the analog and the Vitality. The Vitality is more, according to the website, more of a neutral presentation, an unbiased, a true to the original. Whereas the analog provides, it compared it to a sunset, a very relaxing sound, a very enjoyable sound. Now, from my personal impressions, I didn't get that at all. The detail retrieval was wonderful. Like, again, it was better than any of the other DAPs I've tried in detail retrieval and clarity of the music. But did I get that warm sound? Absolutely not. In fact, I found it a bit bright. Like, I thought this was a very bright DAC in here. It uses the AK4490, which is one of the highest regarded analog converter chips. But I really was kind of disappointed because I had a lot of high hopes for that warm sound, that relaxing sound, versus a very cold, straightforward, strict. So I was a little bit let down in that sense. However, personal bias aside, the overall performance of this was quite on point with its price range. I've already talked about the detail retrieval, but just the ease of use it gave me the music was very impressive. The soundstage was very nice. Like, it really did make me feel like I was there. I will say that. It did a wonderful job of transporting me to the experience. I could hear the subtlest of notes that was in the background, songs I've heard 100 times, especially on live music when I'm listening to the Portico Quartet. That's one of my standards as far as testing a soundstage and testing the resolution of the soundstage, because that is in a very live recording. You're actually in the middle of an audience, the microphone is, so you can hear people talking to you. Like right here, there's a woman talking, there's a gentleman over here, actually there's a couple right here. You can hear them talking. And I judge that, or the resolution retrieval, on how well can I hear them? How well can I understand them? And the Esther does a very good job, especially for how small it is. The battery life is very, very long. Like, me personally, I'm getting between 10-ish, somewhere around that range, hours of comfortably listening to it. So I can easily go I usually go about 2 shifts of listening to it. I can't listen to it, obviously, an entire non-stop, but I can listen to it for quite a long term end without having to recharge. And when it does require recharging, it is very quick. Like, I can go from dead to full in about an hour. That's awesome. I mean, for have about 10-ish hours active listening time for a 1-hour charge, that's awesome. Like, I have no complaints on the charging speed. But, guys, that's actually about the end of the review of the Soundaware Esther M1. This is one of my shorter reviews, but this is a very cut and dry digital audio player, so I didn't feel the need to drag it on. It performed, and to sum up points, is its performance for its price range between the $500 and $600 range is respectable. The construction is awesome. Awesome. Very well done. The detail retrieval is spot on where it should be. The amp is adequate, but use of a portable amplifier with use of higher impedance headphones is recommended. And the overall sound I found to be quite bright. It was not neutral and it was not a warm sound. It was a pretty bright, cool, critical sound. But if you have any questions, or if I feel there's a point that I might have missed about the Esther M1, or if you have a question on anything else I've reviewed or something in the future you'd like me to try out, hit me up in the comments. I reply to everyone, and I do love hearing from you. And if you like the video, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Keep yourself on the field in. But as always, my friends, my name's Army Firedog. It's been a pleasure, but most important, everybody, stay safe.